The Democrat candidate for office who gets paid to get plowed online is a lot worse than you think. And we're going to get into it today, the way the entire state of Virginia has apparently gotten into her. This is a Propaganda Reports Drive Time and News Blast. I am Brad Binkley. Let's dive in with protection, with lots and lots of protection. You've probably seen the headlines about the woman who is running for office in Virginia, the Democrat House, who does all kind of weird sex acts, like really, really dirty, specific sex acts online for thousands and thousands of people, and whose candidacy is being propped up and supported and celebrated by the Democrats. Here's the headline. Virginia Dem House candidate performed sex online with husband for tips. Well, I just add that to the list of things you can no longer enjoy without feeling like you're being forced to tip. Starbucks, takeout, now watching your favorite candidate for office blow her husband. Gone are the days when you could go online and watch the politician that you feel connected to the most get pounded from the back without feeling like you got to tip an extra $3 before you even know if it's going to be any good. I mean, I'm a good tipper for a job well done, but this upfront stuff, $1, $3, $5 before there's any penetration, this has to stop. Because, you feel like if you don't do it, if you don't tip beforehand, that they'll spit in your coffee, they'll eat some of your French fries, or they won't slap each other around and scream dirty slut for 3 hours like you specifically requested in the chat. It's tip terrorism, man. And while I expect that kind of thing, that kind of extortion from a barista or an Uber Eats driver, I never expected our political leaders to stoop so low as to taint the public's enjoyment of their online taint videos. It's disgusting what this country has fallen to. Here's the story. A Democrat running for a crucial seat in Virginia's House of Delegates performed sex acts with her husband for a live online audience and encouraged viewers to pay them with tips for specific requests. You see, she's a woman of the people. She listens to their needs. Susanna Gibson, a nurse practitioner and mother of 2 young children running in a highly competitive suburban Richmond district, streamed sex acts on Chatterbait, a platform that says it takes its name from the act of masturbating while chatting online. It's like throw in a crack pipe. That's like a Hunter Biden business there. Chatter, crack bait, Hunter Biden. More than a dozen videos of the couple captured from the Chatterbait stream were archived on one of those sites, Reekerbait, in September 2022 after she entered the race. The most recent were 2 videos archived on September 30th, 2022. While still listed on Reekerbait, those videos were no longer available for viewing as of Saturday, this past Saturday. So they were available until then, after a Republican operative alerted the Washington Post about them. But the videos remained live on other non-password protected sites, which the Post viewed. Oh, I'm sure they viewed. I'm sure they had a lot of volunteers to view those videos. Here she is, by the way. This is the picture that the Washington Post puts on. You see, you have the Washington Post that says a lot of what she's doing, but left out a lot of specifics. And then you go over to the Daily Mail, who includes a few more pictures, not nudes, but some more specifics. And that dog with her, who has probably seen some awful, awful things in his day. Okay. Gibson, 40, can be seen in the videos soliciting tips for performing specific acts in apparent violation of Chatterbait's terms and conditions. I love how that's the problem. She violated Chatterbait's terms and conditions. The website that's named after a combination of people chatting online and masturbating. How dare you violate? How dare you? The terms and conditions say requesting or demanding specific acts for tips may result in a ban from the platform for all parties involved. I can't believe she breaks the rules like that. In at least 2 videos, she tells viewers that she is raising money for a good cause. That's hilarious. In multiple videos, Gibson interrupts sex acts to type into a bedside computer. Speaking directly into the screen, she urges viewers to provide tips, which are paid through tokens purchased through the site. And at least they're just teaching people how to use Chatterbait right now, I feel like. It's like a training lesson. In at least 2 videos, she agrees to perform certain acts only in a private room, an arrangement that requires the viewer to pay more. Hooking them, like a funnel system here. You know, this is very interesting. I mean, you know what they say in politics, right? The best way to predict how a candidate will perform in office is to look at how they perform in their online porn videos. And I got to say, so far, so good here. Seriously, she raises money for good causes. Philanthropy. She listens to her constituents' needs and wants. She gives even her small dollar donors personal private attention. And she's not afraid to break the establishment rules. I mean, this is someone you want representing you, Virginia. The article goes on. I need more tokens before I let him do that to me. She responds to a request that they perform a certain act. See, the Washington Post doesn't say what the certain acts are. I got it in the Daily Mail there. That's where the Daily Mail gets a little bit more specific. And then she says, I'm going to read that sentence again because I stopped it in the middle there. I need more tokens before I let him do that to me. She responds to a request that they perform a certain act. 1 token, no. I need more. Raising money for a good cause, remember? Keeps throwing that in. I love that. People are yeah, I'm only paying this woman to do dirty sexual acts with her husband online for a good cause so I can feel good about myself. Maybe they can write it off even, put it on their resume. Almost immediately as tips apparently arrive, she says thank you 5 times and tells her husband she will agree to that act. What could the act be? Reading a book? I don't think so. This is about when we switch over to the Daily Mail here. Gibson takes the lead in addressing viewers on the videos viewed by the Post, but in one case, her husband, an attorney and a nurse practitioner, he chimes in with, come on, guys, to echo her request for tips. We're working hard here, guys. We've been plowing all day, and we just got $200 in tip. It's not even worth it. I'll cut my dong off if I'm only getting $200 for this. Now over to the Daily Mail. In one clip obtained by the Daily Mail, Gibson tells her husband, I'll let you F me in the A doggy style in a private room if someone wants to pay. That's the deal. I love how it was her request. They made you think leading up to this that all these people are requesting these specific acts, but now it just kind of sounds like she's just throwing ideas out. You want to see them bang me in the A doggy? Pay me some money. Let them do it. Come on. Anybody. That's the unspoken part of what's going on, because this is a revealing part of this story. This is a nurse practitioner, okay, and a lawyer. They aren't doing this because they need the money. They're doing this because they like to have people watch them do dirty, dirty stuff. It's voyeurism, and they're hoping to make a few bucks off of it at the same time. It's a thrill. They get off on this. This isn't something new that they're doing. What are the odds that this couple are not swingers? 0%. There are 0% odds that they're not swingers. They are banging every other swinging couple in this town. Probably half of them are their constituents in the chat rooms right now. This is the dirty, dirty side of these weird politicians right out in the open here. She's actually running for a swing seat in Henrico County in suburban Richmond. Makes sense. At another point, she says, y'all can watch me pee if you tip me. And again, I'm raising money for a good cause. That's what it says. That is actually what it says. Let's see if I can find it. Look, here you go. Y'all see it on screen there? Y'all can watch me pee if you tip me and some tokens. Again, I'm raising money for a good cause. What is the good cause? What is this? Does she ever tell them? Then there's this part here. This is where, we're only just beginning here, guys, with the story. At another point, Gibson explains that she is in an open relationship with her husband, even though he doesn't like sharing. Yeah, I F random strangers if you're hot enough. We've tried swapping. I was telling them earlier, referring to the commenters, the chatters, about ethical non-monogamy. He doesn't like sharing, to which her husband then chimes in and he says, sometimes I have to, though. She makes me. To which she then says, I've had 3 in a day, actually. Don't tell my husband he was the 3rd. A little bit of cuckery into the mix here. Then she says, I'm married, and I think the person I'm married to is amazing, but I love sex. I always have, and I always will. I don't think that when you are in love with someone, it means that you don't want to F other people. Like, love and sex are not mutually exclusive, right? Gibson explains about her marriage. In another video, according to the Daily Mail, she says, y'all, I need more tips. They want anal and missionary, but I'm only doing it if they're in a private room. This chick is offering anal to people on every corner. Everybody who gives a campaign donation gets anal, okay, with this candidate. That's how she's getting voters. And then here we go. This is the best part. I mean, the contrasting public message she makes here. In a written statement, this is back to the Washington Post. In a written statement, Gibson called the exposure of the videos, quote, an illegal invasion of my privacy designed to humiliate me and my family. The person who told the Washington Post that publicly available videos where she's begging people to pay to watch her get smashed anally, that person who's getting her more viewers, marketing for her, that person is humiliating her. I don't think so. It won't intimidate me, she says, and it won't silence me. A ball gag might, though, which I'm sure she's had in her mouth. My political opponents and their Republican allies have proven they're willing to commit a sex crime to attack me and my family because there's no line they won't cross to silence women when they speak up. So I just imagine her just sitting like at a park with a bunch of people around, and she just starts saying, could somebody please anally gangbang me? And her husband going, gosh, not right now. And she's like, how dare you try and silence women when we speak up? Daniel P. Watkins, a lawyer for Gibson, said disseminating the videos constitutes a violation of the state's revenge porn law, which makes it a Class 1 misdemeanor to maliciously distribute nude or sexual images of another person with intent to coerce, harass, or intimidate. We're working closely with state and federal law enforcement. I'm sure they are. This is total BS. They are trying to weaponize this, actually. This revenge porn thing. They tried to get this politician in Arizona on the same law, a similar law as a revenge porn law, because she shared one of the Hunter Biden videos on social media. They're not going to go after Hunter Biden for it, but they'll go after her for it. That's why you don't want to download those Hunter Biden videos. People like to archive stuff, but you don't want them on your hard drive because they could come out one day and say there's some sort of underage porn on there, and they ain't going to get Hunter Biden for it, but they'll probably get everybody who's got that stuff on their hard drive if they still have any power. Let's hope that's not the case. Also, the Washington Post is the one that shared this publicly. The Republican guy just told them about it. So how can we differentiate? How are you gonna carve out some exception for the Washington Post? I guess. The Post typically does not identify victims of alleged sex crimes to protect their privacy. This is not a sex crime. There's no sex crime that was committed against this woman by this Republican. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The woman's like walking around town, trying to sit down on pogo sticks and bounce around while screaming, how dare the Republicans sexually victimize me? Can you imagine? That's my elected representative. I stand with Susanna, and then I get in line to pork her. I mean, you got to get up early like it's Black Friday or something. You're trying to be the first one in Walmart to get in this bitch. Even then, you still might not even be in the first wave. You got to camp out all night. And there might be people start fighting once too many people get inside at once, because that's going on too. The Post typically does not identify victims of alleged sex crimes to protect their privacy. In this case, Gibson originally live streamed these sexual acts on a site that was not password protected. The couple had more than 5,700 followers there. That's a lot of votes right there. That's a lot of campaign donations. They got to be 18, right? There's your constituency. Many of the videos remained available to the public on other unrestricted sites as of Saturday. Gibson faces Republican David Owen, a retired home builder, on November 7th when all 140 seats in Virginia's House and Senate will be on the ballot. He said, "Me and my team found out about this story today like everyone else. I'm sure this is a difficult time for Susanna and her family, and I'm remaining focused on my campaign. It can't be too hard. Want a representative who doesn't have a vagina that's trying to win a hot dog eating contest? Vote for me. I'm just a home builder." I love how they're focusing on the competitive nature of the campaign now. Like they're just glossing over the fact that this is a porn star and swinger. And that's the story, is that, right? There's probably some trafficking going on. You know, there's some dungeons, whips, a lot of leather, assless chaps. There's the stuff that are in the basement of this woman's house and the people who she associates with. There's some furries going on. Lots of double-sided things. Gibson and Owen are both well-financed and running with support from their party's senior leaders. They are vying for an open seat in the 57th House District, a highly competitive territory. Theirs is just one of a handful of contests in each chamber expected to determine control of the legislature and whether Governor Glenn Youngkin can enact a conservative political agenda that includes banning abortion. So it's all about getting control in the state and about abortion. It's like they put people in that are super old or that have clear health problems because they don't care. It's all about getting somebody in there. They don't care if she bangs the entire state of Virginia as long as they have her to filter their policies and their votes through. Gibson has outraised Owen $377,000 to $340,000, but Gibson spent nearly $300,000 on anal beads. On her haul battling a fellow Democrat in the June 20th primary. She defeated Bob Shippey by double digits for the nomination, but had just $77,000 on hand and $40,000 more inside her vagina. In the fundraising period that concluded June 30th. Owen, who faced no primary opponent, had $166,000 in cash at the end of the period. You know what that means. Turn on the lighting, fire up the camera, and get those specific requests ready, Virginians, because there's about to be some campaign videos made. There's about to be a fundraising live stream. They're trying to silence me, she said, because they want to silence you. Because she's so much like, she might be like everybody in that town. Maybe she is actually like everybody in that town. And then she says, I won't let that happen. My opponent and his allies know that the people of this district are on our side on the issues. So they're stooping to the worst gutter politics, which is probably where she has a lot of her sex. There's too much at stake in this election, and I'll never stop fighting for our community. I mean, she has to stop for a little while. She's got like a lot of people to have sex with on camera. Gibson's campaign, this is how they end the article. Gibson's campaign website displays pictures of her smiling in a white lab coat and scrubs with a stethoscope around her shoulders. And there's a dog next to her also. You can see this image here. So this is probably like a double usage image. You have the up-close image that they use for a site, but then they probably have the far back image, which, you know, she's wearing no clothes underneath her. There's probably spikes on the ground. It is lubrication. It's disgusting. And her husband is probably butt naked on his knees wearing a gimp mask with his head between her legs. In this photo, you just can't see it. That poor, poor dog. I like where her head is, though. I like the way she responded to this whole thing. I just think that she needs to lean all the way into this, go even deeper and harder, just like her viewers tip her to have her husband do to her. And just turn all of these porn videos that she already has. You know, she's got hours and hours of them. I mean, beyond hours of them. She's been doing this for a while. This is not new to them. Just cut them into 30-second ads. Like, you don't have to spend any more money on campaign ads. Cut them into 30-second ads, record voiceovers, with your messages on them, and your constituents will absolutely love it. It's not like campaign videos have not almost gotten to the realm of just straight up porn already. We're almost there. Like there was a video, I think 2 years ago, I think it was a woman in Texas who her campaign ad was just her butt naked, just riding a rodeo bull with her boobs flopping around and vote for me. And her boobs were just knocking her in the face. That was her campaign ad. And there was another woman who she's in a bathing suit doing a handstand with her legs up. Her legs were like in the Y position in the air. And in the back, she's on the beach, and there's like on a hill in the back, perfectly placed, is a lighthouse that looks like it's about to get swallowed up by her vagina. Those campaign ads for political office have already happened. She can be the glass ceiling breaker and just take us to straight up banging porn. Vote for me while you watch me F. Why not? I'm serious. Just go for it. Go all the way, Susanna. The slogans. She could have a field day with the slogans. You know, Virginians don't want another racist Republican who gets nothing done. In 2024, vote for action, hot anal action. With trust in politicians at an all-time low, do you really want another Republican who hasn't really shown you who they are? Vote for someone whose vagina you've seen. If elected, I promise to never stop showing you my vagina. As your representative, I promise that the state of Virginia will have vaginal transparency. While my opponent lies and tries to take away your abortion rights, I've got 15 dicks in my mouth. Just go for it. And 2 in the back. Whatever, doesn't matter. While Republicans are too busy hiding from the people of Virginia, I'm getting smashed by all of them right out in the open. If elected, I can promise you this. This vagina will be open to all Virginians, or as I like to call them, vaginans. Vote for me in 2024, and I'll take the virgin out of Virginia and rape them. Don't forget to leave your tip in my vagina. I'm sure she could get Joe to come to Virginia and do an ad with her. I mean, give the guy a couple of Viagra. Dude'll be endorsing her all night. Not a joke. I'm proud to stand 17th in line in the gangbang. All right, that's where we're going to wrap up the show for today. Like the state of Virginia, we should just wrap up the entire state of Virginia with a giant condom, as long as this woman is in there. Ugh. Before we get out of here, though, I do want to tell you what we're going to do in the Drive Time News Blast XR, which is the subscriber-only portion of the show. We are going to, a couple days ago, Sam Tripoli and I played the press conference that Larry Sinclair, who is a guy, I just realized is a theme today, the guy who claims that he smoked crack and had sex with Barack Obama in 1999. We play that old press conference that he gave where he tells his story, and we just had a lot of fun talking about it and making fun of it. So that is going to be the Drive Time News Blast XR, the subscriber-only portion of the show. If you want to get access to that, go to patreon.com/propaganda report and subscribe there today. It's how I support the show. It's how I support myself. If you would like to support in another way, then you can also go to wherever you listen to your podcast and leave a 5-star review and a comment that warms my heart. It really does help me out, so you can do that as well. The website is propagandafight.com. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Brad Binkley, rumble.com/thepropreport, and at FreedomAct Radio on Twitter. All right, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day.